Hi everyone. So I hope you had a great Christmas, and with the year coming to an end, here's a recap of 2025's true crime cases. Enjoy. Ashley Elkins. On a cold morning in early January 2025, a young mother named Ashley Elkins went missing. Ashley was 30 years old and lived in Warren, Michigan. She had two young sons, ages 7 and 10. That morning, she left her home to run a few quick errands and left her boys with her younger sister and planned to return soon. Around 8 a.m., Ashley drove her silver Chevy Malibu to a nearby 7-Eleven. A camera showed her parking the car and going inside the store. After that, she sent a few short messages to her mother, Monica. Just after 9 a.m., the messages suddenly stopped. Monica felt worried right away. She tried to call and FaceTime Ashley, but there was no answer. Later that day, another family member received a text from Ashley saying she was going to a beauty supply store. Soon after that, Ashley's phone turned off. It later turned back on, but no more messages were sent. By that evening, Ashley still had not come home. Ashley's sister used a phone tracking app and found the last location of Ashley's phone. It showed an apartment building in Roseville, Michigan. This address belonged to Ashley's ex-boyfriend, DeAndre Booker. Ashley and DeAndre had broken up months earlier. Family members went to the apartment, but no one answered the door, and Ashley's car was not there. Ashley's family told police about DeAndre. They said Ashley had been scared of him before she went missing. She believed he had been following her. Just days earlier, DeAndre had tried to trick Ashley by making a fake hair appointment at her home business. 5 days after Ashley disappeared, her silver Malibu was found parked at another apartment complex in Roseville. The keys were left on the seat. This made the family even more afraid, because Ashley would never leave her car like that. Police began checking cameras near DeAndre's apartment. One camera showed Ashley arriving there on the morning she vanished. She was wearing the same clothes seen earlier that day. Hours later, the same camera showed DeAndre going in and out of his apartment many times. He was seen carrying bags and boxes to dumpsters late into the night and early morning. 2 days after Ashley went missing, DeAndre called police and claimed his apartment had been broken into. When officers entered the apartment, they noticed strong smells of cleaning products and signs that the place had been cleaned with bleach. In the bathroom, they found blood stains, hair, and other items in the drain. A gun registered to DeAndre was found under the couch. Tests later showed that the blood found in the apartment and dumpsters belonged to Ashley. Police believed Ashley was killed inside the apartment. Garbage trucks had already picked up the trash from the dumpsters. Police searched a large landfill for days, hoping to find Ashley or more evidence. Sadly, her remains were not found. DeAndre was later arrested for lying to police. Phone records showed he had searched for weapons, how to hide a crime, and what happens to trash after it is collected. Police believe he acted alone. Ashley's two sons are now being cared for by family. A fund was created to help support them. Ashley Elkins has still not been found, but her family continues to seek justice and answers. Vera Kravtsova. Vera was 26 years old and came from Belarus. She dreamed of becoming a successful singer and model. She was kind, friendly, and trusted people easily. Friends said she worked hard and believed the best in others. From a young age, Vera loved music. She went to music school, learned how to sing, and played instruments. She later took part in local singing shows and small events. While she did not become famous, many people knew her as talented and warm. After finishing university, Vera moved to Russia and worked as a model. She traveled to different countries like Vietnam and Indonesia to build her career. Her social media showed a happy young woman with big dreams. Her parents supported her fully. Her mother often left loving comments online. But like many young artists, Vera struggled to find steady work. She worked in cafes and small jobs while waiting for her big chance. In September 2025, that chance seemed to arrive. Vera got an email from someone who said they worked for a modeling agency. They offered her a job with a luxury brand and asked her to come to Thailand for a test shoot. Vera felt unsure at first, but the offer sounded real. It was exactly what she had been waiting for. She decided to go. Vera left Belarus and promised her family she would make them proud. On September 12, 2025, she arrived in Bangkok alone. For several days, she stayed in touch with her family. Everything seemed fine, but then something changed. On September 20th, Vera boarded a flight from Thailand to Myanmar. Records show she did this by choice. Thai officials later said she was not taken by force while in Thailand. After Vera arrived in Myanmar, all contact slowly stopped. What likely happened next was terrible. Vera is believed to have been taken by human traffickers. Her phone and passport were taken away. She was moved to a guarded compound near the border. These places are not normal work sites. They are camps where people are forced to work long hours running online scams. Inside these camps, life is brutal. People are watched all the time. They work up to 20 hours a day. If they fail, they are beaten or starved. Vera was likely forced to use her looks to talk to men online. She was told to gain their trust and trick them into fake money deals. If she did not bring in enough money, she would be punished. On October 4th, 2025, Vera's family heard from her for the last time. Weeks later, they received a phone call. The caller demanded a huge amount of money and said Vera was either being held or already dead. Later, they claimed her body had been burned and her organs sold. These claims have never been proven. The Belarus government still lists Vera as missing. There is no body, there is no proof. They do not know if she is alive or gone. Vera's story is not rare. Thousands of people are trapped in these scam camps across Southeast Asia. Many go missing. Many never come home. Long family. Emily Long was born in the early 1990s and grew up in Madbury, New Hampshire. Her father, Christopher, worked as an elementary school teacher, and her mother, Cynthia, was a speech therapist. After finishing high school, Emily went to the University of New Hampshire. She studied hospitality, which is work related to hotels and restaurants. After college, Emily worked at several restaurants and hotels. Later, she became the manager of a brew pub in Nantucket, Massachusetts. In December 2016, she was fired after money and alcohol went missing. Police wanted to talk to her, but she went on a trip to Thailand with her boyfriend. When she came back, she was charged with writing fake checks. The case was later dropped because the restaurant shut down. Around this time, Emily had a son named Parker. After he was born, Emily began a relationship with a man named Ryan Long. Ryan worked as a mental health counselor for a school district. He later adopted Parker, and they lived together as a family. In 2018, Emily started working as an office manager for a restaurant chain called Wingits. She was later promoted and became the director who managed all 3 locations. In 2019, Emily and Ryan had a daughter together. They named her Ryan after her father. In July 2020, they bought a large 5-bedroom house in Madbury. In 2022, Emily and Ryan got married and welcomed another son named James. In April 2025, their lives changed suddenly. Ryan was diagnosed with brain cancer. Doctors said he had only a small chance of living 5 more years. Emily began posting daily videos on social media, talking about her pain and fear. She shared how shocked she was and how fast her future dreams disappeared. Over time, she gained thousands of followers. On June 18, 2025, Emily's boss noticed serious money problems at the restaurants. Since 2023, no cash had been deposited into the business accounts. Emily was in charge of handling the cash. Her boss believed she had taken over $660,000 and put it into her own account. When he asked for bank records, he learned that papers had been changed. Emily later quit by text message and avoided meeting him. On August 18, 2025, police went to the Long family home after relatives could not reach them. Inside, they found a tragic scene. Ryan was dead from multiple gunshots. Parker and Ryan, the 2 older children, had each been shot once and did not survive. Emily was also found dead. The youngest child, James, was alive and unharmed. The investigation showed that Emily shot her husband and 2 children early that morning. Police closed the case and stopped the money investigation. Emily's former boss said he would not try to recover the money, so James would not be punished for something he did not do. Emily's social media videos showed deep stress, fear, and sadness. She talked about money problems, feeling alone, and being overwhelmed. While she shared her pain online, she hid her legal troubles. In the end, the pressure from her actions and her husband's illness led to a terrible and final decision that destroyed her family. Sam Nordquist. The killing of 24-year-old Sam was so cruel that words almost cannot describe it. Sam was a black transgender man who worked as a group home aide. In September, he traveled from Minnesota to upstate New York to meet a woman he had met online named Precious Arsuaga. Sam had a round-trip ticket, but he never returned home in October as planned. When his family could not reach him, they reported him missing, and a search began. On February 9th, Sam's body was found in a field in the Finger Lakes region of New York. His body had been wrapped in plastic. Investigators started to piece together what had happened at a motel called Patty's Lodge, about 30 miles from Rochester. They believe Sam was held there against his will for over a month. 7 people, including Sam's online girlfriend Precious, have been charged with his murder. The indictment lists 11 counts with disturbing details. Sam was forced to kneel and stand against walls. He was beaten, starved, and denied water. He was forcefully fed waste and forced to drink the same. He was physically restrained and subjected to cruel, degrading, and inhumane treatment. His captors used towels, shirts, duct tape, and poured bleach on him. He was also assaulted with objects such as a broomstick and a table leg. Investigators say Sam was hit with sticks, dog toys, bottles, belts, canes, and boards, which led to his death. A particularly shocking detail is that 2 young children, aged 7 and 12, were forced to participate in this. Authorities describe this as one of the most disturbing parts of the case. There has been much discussion about whether Sam's identity as a transgender man played a role in his death. Some people called for hate crime charges. However, police and the district attorney stated there is no evidence at this time that Sam's murder was a hate crime. There may never be an explanation for why anyone would commit such acts. What happened to Sam cannot be made sense of, and it is a tragedy that leaves his family and community in shock and grief. Triple murder of Florencio Varela. On September 19, 2025, 3 young girls went missing in the suburbs of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Their names were Brenda del Castillo, Marina Verdi, both 20 years old, and Lara Gutierrez, who was only 15. They left their homes after being told they could earn about $300 by attending a small gathering. Instead of a party, the girls were tricked. They were forced into a white van and taken to a house in Florencio Varela. That house would later be known as a place of horror. According to investigators, the girls were badly tortured inside the house. The violence was not random. Police believe the attack was planned and meant to send a message. The most disturbing part was that the crime was filmed and shown live to a small, closed group online. It was not shared publicly, but it was done on purpose. During the video, the gang leader is said to have spoken words meant to warn others. 5 days after the girls disappeared, police found their bodies buried in the backyard of the same house. The medical reports were hard to read. All 3 girls showed signs of extreme violence. Lara, the youngest, had all 5 fingers cut off and part of her ear removed before she died. Brenda suffered a crushed skull and serious injuries to her face. Marina's body showed clear signs of heavy beating and torture. News of the case spread fast across Argentina. People were shocked and angry. Many asked how something so cruel could happen and be shown online. Police tried to find out which app was used, but no clear answer was found. Some companies said they could not confirm the video was on their platform. As the case moved forward, investigators said the motive was linked to drugs. The girls were accused of stealing a small amount of cocaine and money. This angered a drug group. The killings were meant to scare others and stop future thefts. The man believed to be behind it all is known by the name Pequeño J. His real name is Tony Hansen Valverde Victoriano. He is said to be a young drug leader who planned the crime and hired others to carry it out. Thousands of people marched in the streets demanding justice. Activists called the crime a case of drug-related femicide, saying the girls were targeted not only for the drugs, but also because they were women. Amber Check was a 20-year-old woman from Minnesota. She worked as a welder at a company called Advanced Process Technologies in the town of Cokato. Welding is a job that involves working with metal and heavy tools. Amber had recently finished a welding program at Alexandria Technical and Community College in the spring of 2024. She was proud of her work and planned to build her future through her career. On the morning of November 11th, around 6 a.m., police were called to Amber's workplace. Officers found her at her workstation with serious head injuries. They tried to save her, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. Police later said she had been attacked with a blunt object. Investigators said the attack was carried out by a male coworker named David Bruce Dong, who was 40 years old. Surveillance video from the building showed Dong leaving his work area, taking a sledgehammer, and hitting Amber in the head multiple times. Police said Dong was taken into custody at the scene without problems. They also said he admitted to killing Amber, both to a witness and to officers. Dong was charged with second-degree murder. The Wright County attorney later said the case may be reviewed for a possible first-degree murder charge, which would mean the attack was planned ahead of time. That process would require a grand jury. Prosecutors stated that Dong told police he killed Amber because he did not like her. No further details about his motive were included in the early reports. Police have not shared information about any past relationship between Amber and Dong outside of work. After the case became public, claims began to spread on social media saying Amber had reported harassment at work several times before her death and that nothing was done. Some groups that support women working in trade jobs spoke about wider problems in the industry, such as fear of speaking up, lack of supervision, and concerns that complaints may not be taken seriously. Amber's family and friends described her as hardworking, kind, and full of life. A fundraising page was created to help cover funeral costs. Many women who work in welding and other trade jobs shared messages in her memory, calling her a sister in the trades and honoring her dedication and skill. Hak Young Lee. In a quiet suburb in Auckland, New Zealand, the Joe family lived a life that looked calm and normal. Hug Young Lee, also known as Jasmine, lived with her husband Jojo and their two children, Yuna and Minu. Yuna was 8 years old and Minu was 6. Joe worked at Auckland Airport to support the family, while Lee stayed home to look after the children. She had stopped working so she could focus on caring for them. Friends and teachers saw the family as loving and kind. Yuna and Minu were happy children who did well at school. Their teacher described Yuna as polite, focused, and friendly. Minu was described as cheerful, playful, and curious. The parents were very involved in their children's education and always wanted to help them do their best. Lee had moved from South Korea to New Zealand when she was a teenager. Her life had not been easy. Her father died when she was only 18 years old, which caused her great sadness. She married Joe in 2006, and together they built a family. On the outside, everything seemed stable. In early 2017, the family's life changed suddenly. Joe was diagnosed with cancer. He became very sick and needed long hospital care. Lee was deeply upset by this news. She often cried and told her mother that she could not live without her husband. Her mother tried to comfort her and told her to stay strong. As Joe's illness got worse, Lee spent more time at the hospital. The children were sometimes cared for by their grandmother. Yuna understood that her father was very sick, but Minu was too young to fully understand. During this time, Lee made many worrying statements. She said that if her husband died, she and the children should die too. She even said once that she wished a plane would crash so they could all die together. In November 2017, Joe passed away. After his death, Lee took the children to Australia for a holiday. She did not tell them that their father had died. She spent a large amount of money on hotels and trips, hoping to make happy memories for the children and distract them from the loss. After returning, Lee became more withdrawn. The children began missing school, and people outside the family saw them less often. Lee was seeing doctors and was given medicine to help with sleep and stress. This medicine was not safe for children. In 2018, Lee's mother became worried because she had not seen her daughter or grandchildren for a long time. She went to the police, but no urgent action was taken at that time. Later, it was found that Lee had changed her name, renewed her passport, rented storage units, and bought items like plastic bags and tape. In June 2018, the last signs of the children being alive were recorded through a video game system in the family home. After that, there was no further sign of them. In August 2022, a family bought the contents of a storage unit at an auction. Inside were 2 suitcases. When they opened them, they found the remains of Yuna and Minu. Police were called right away. Tests later showed that the children had been given medication that caused their deaths. Lee was found in South Korea and brought back to New Zealand to face trial. She said she had no children. In court, her defense said she was mentally unwell and did not understand that her actions were wrong. Doctors spoke about her long history of depression. The prosecution argued that Lee knew what she was doing. They said her actions after the deaths showed planning and understanding. The jury agreed and found her guilty of murdering both children. Kim Ha-nul. On February 10, 2025, in an elementary school in the central South Korean city of Daejeon, the final school bell rang, ending another normal day. Children packed their bags and talked about going home. Parents waited, expecting to see their kids walk through the school gates. 7-year-old Kim Ha-nul had finished her after-school program and was ready to leave. She was happy and planned to show her mother a drawing she had made. As she walked toward the exit, a teacher she trusted called her over. The teacher said she had a book for her and asked her to step inside a storage room for a moment, and Kim followed without fear. Inside the small, dark room, the door closed. When Kim did not come home, her family became worried. They checked her phone location and saw it was still inside the school. Calls went unanswered. Her grandmother rushed there and searched the halls, calling her name. Near the storage room, she saw the teacher standing still. When asked where Kim was, the teacher said she did not know. Then she locked the door behind her. Police arrived soon after and broke the door open. Inside, Kim was lying on the floor, not moving. She had been badly hurt. Nearby, the teacher was sitting against the wall with injuries on herself. Paramedics came, but there was nothing they could do, and Kim was gone. Later reports showed that the teacher had a long history of mental illness and violent behavior. She had attacked coworkers before, yet she was allowed to return to teaching just weeks before the crime. Investigators found clear signs that this was planned. The storage room had been unlocked earlier. The teacher waited until only one child remained. She had bought a knife earlier that day. After the crime, she lied and tried to delay help. Experts said this was not an accident or sudden loss of control. An autopsy confirmed that Kim had been stabbed many times. There were wounds on her hands showing she tried to protect herself. Even in her final moments, she wanted to live. Vigils were held outside the school. Flowers and drawings filled the gates. People asked how this could have been allowed to happen. The government announced new laws to remove teachers who are not safe to work and to improve school security and mental health checks. Lisa from Abcud. Lisa was a 17-year-old girl from the town of Abcud near Amsterdam. On the night of 20th of August 2025, she went out with friends in the city like many young people do. It was a normal and happy evening. In the early morning hours, Lisa got on her bicycle to ride home. It was a trip she had done many times before. Around 3:30 in the morning, Lisa was cycling through Duivendrecht, along a road called Holterbergweg. The streets were quiet and dark. At some point, she began to feel that something was wrong. A man on a bicycle was following her. Lisa became scared and knew she was in danger. While still cycling, Lisa called the emergency number for help. She was being attacked while she was on the phone with the police. Officers later confirmed that the call happened, but they did not share what was said. Sadly, before help could reach her, Lisa was stabbed. Around 4:15 in the morning, police found her body near the water along the road. The news shocked the entire country. People were deeply upset that a young girl could be killed while simply riding her bike home. Police started a large investigation right away. Cameras showed much of Lisa's route, but the final 7 minutes were missing. Police asked the public for help and looked for witnesses, including people in nearby vehicles seen around the time of the attack. The day after the killing, police arrested a man at a temporary asylum shelter in Amsterdam Zuidoost. He was already a suspect in another attack that had happened a few days earlier. Later, police also charged him with Lisa's murder. His exact identity remained unclear, and the case is still going through the courts. Lisa's death caused strong reactions across the Netherlands. After the murder, tens of thousands of people downloaded the Dutch emergency app that allows quiet contact with police and shares location. Lisa's family asked for privacy, but thanked the public for the love and support. Chelsea Spillers. Chelsea Spillers was a 33-year-old high school science teacher living in Alvarado, Texas. She taught biology and chemistry at Alvarado High School and was known among students and coworkers as kind, patient, and dedicated to her job. In mid-October, her life ended violently inside her own home, setting off a case that would quickly unfold across multiple counties. The first warning signs came on the evening of October 17th, when police were called to Chelsea's home following a domestic disturbance between her and her husband, Brandon Ashley. When officers arrived, Ashley's behavior was alarming. He reportedly placed a handgun to his own head and threatened to do it. Officers were able to calm him down and take him into custody. He was arrested on a charge related to interfering with police duties and taken to the Johnson County Jail. Despite the seriousness of the situation, Ashley was released the following morning. Later that same day, concern for Chelsea's safety grew. Friends had been unable to reach her by phone or text, which was unusual. One friend contacted police and requested a welfare check, explaining that Chelsea had recently argued with her husband and that no one had heard from her. Officers returned to the home on October 18th and made the discovery: Chelsea was found dead inside the residence. Investigators quickly determined that her death was suspicious. She had suffered severe injuries, including blunt force trauma, and her death was later ruled a homicide. Ashley was not at the home when Chelsea's body was found, and police soon began searching for him in connection with her death. As authorities worked to piece together what happened, new details emerged. Investigators discovered that explicit messages and photos had been sent from Chelsea's phone to one of her coworkers on the morning her body was found. The coworker told police they had only a professional relationship with Chelsea and that the messages did not match her behavior. Further investigation revealed the messages were actually sent from Ashley's phone, leading detectives to believe he had been impersonating his wife. Meanwhile, Ashley had fled the area. On October 19th, law enforcement in Grimes County, roughly 150 miles from Alvarado, began receiving reports of a shirtless man wandering through rural neighborhoods. Witnesses said the man appeared confused and distressed, knocked on doors asking for clothing, and avoided nearby highways because he believed police were everywhere. Officers also received warnings that the man might be armed. On October 20th, officers located Ashley near a local business and took him into custody without incident. During his arrest, he told police that he had hidden a firearm nearby, but initially refused to say where. Deputies later recovered a revolver in the area. Ashley was taken for a medical evaluation before being transported back to Johnson County. Ashley was formally charged with murder in connection with Chelsea Spiller's death. His bond was set at more than $1 million. Susan Avalon. Susan Erica Avalon is a 48-year-old woman from Citrus County, Florida. She is accused of killing both of her ex-husbands on the same day, December 17, 2025. Police say the crimes were planned and carried out hours apart. The case has shocked many people because of how bold and cold the acts were. Susan had been married twice before. She shared 5 children between the 2 marriages. She also had a boyfriend at the time of the killings. Before this happened, she had a long history of family problems, including child custody fights and past abuse claims. Some of those cases were dropped years ago, but police say the problems never fully went away. Susan was divorced from one ex-husband for about 11 years. She owed him around $4,000 in unpaid child support. She was ordered to pay at least $200 by December, or her driver's license could be taken away. Police believe money stress and anger may have played a role, but they say they still do not know the exact reason she chose that day. The day before the killings, Susan told her boyfriend she loved him in case something happens. He later said this was very strange and not normal for her. Police say she had also recently found the address of one of her ex-husbands. On the morning of December 17, Susan left her home in Citrus County and drove south to Tampa. Police say she broke into her ex-husband's home through a back door and shot him several times. He died at the scene. At that time, police did not yet know about this killing. After that, Susan kept driving south. She crossed the Sunshine Skyway Bridge into Manatee County. About a mile and a half from her next target, she stopped at a Panera Bread restaurant. Security video shows her taking food from the pickup shelf without paying. She then used that food to pretend she was a delivery worker. Wearing a gray sweatshirt and a medical mask, Susan went to her other ex-husband's home in Bradenton. When he opened the door, she shot him right away. His 15-year-old daughter was inside the house at the time. She did not see the shooting, but heard the gunshots. She looked outside and saw a silver Honda Odyssey driving away. The victim was rushed to the hospital. Before he died, police asked him who might have done this. He answered, "Possibly my ex-wife." License plate cameras tracked Susan's van traveling between counties that day. That same evening, she returned home to Citrus County. Police say she got into the shower fully dressed, still wearing the gray sweatshirt. Soon after, detectives arrived and found her wiping down her van with bleach and rags. When police told her they were there to ask about her ex-husband, she replied, "Which one?" At that moment, police only knew about one shooting. This response led them to discover the second killing in Tampa. Susan was arrested and charged with murder. Prosecutors say they plan to seek the death penalty because the crimes appear planned and deliberate. Police say the case has deeply hurt many families, especially the children left behind. Patricia Madrid and Jamie Jackson. A couple in New Mexico was arrested after police said they abused a girl by locking her inside a chicken coop for long periods of time. The girl has autism and ADHD. Police believe the abuse went on for many months. The Farmington Police Department said the arrests happened on February 18. The people arrested were Jamie Jackson, 59, and his girlfriend, Patricia Madrid, 36. Both were charged with 14 serious crimes, including child and planning the abuse together. Police first learned about the case on September 16th, when Child Protective Services contacted them with concerns about a child's safety. Reports said the girl had been locked in a chicken coop for long periods and left there during very hot and very cold weather. Officers went to the home right away, removed the child, and began collecting evidence. According to an arrest report, the abuse happened between November 2023 and September 2024. The girl told police that her father and his girlfriend were both involved. She said she was required to ask for permission to use the bathroom. When she stopped asking, they became angry and began locking her inside the chicken coop as punishment. The girl said she was kept in the coop for months, including during the summer and winter. She said she was only allowed to eat once a day and was given very little food. Most of the time, she ate noodles, ice cream, or sometimes a banana. She said she was often hungry and would steal vegetables from a nearby garden to survive. Police said they found text messages between Jackson and Madrid that supported parts of the girl's story. In one message sent in July 2024, Madrid told Jackson not to feed the girl until she was extremely hungry. Madrid said the girl was walking around the yard and suggested locking her up before leaving the house. The girl also shared very serious claims during an interview with a trained worker. She said her father once put a gun to her head and threatened to pull the trigger. She said he told her that he did not care about killing someone and that killing her would be no different than killing an animal. Police said they are taking these claims seriously as part of the investigation. Both Jackson and Madrid denied all the accusations and told the police the girl was lying. Madrid said they never locked the girl in the chicken coop and claimed the girl chose to go outside on her own. She said the girl was almost 16 years old and made her own decisions. Jackson told police the girl was receiving counseling to help with personal care and hygiene. He did not admit to any wrongdoing. After their arrest, Madrid was shot and killed in February 2025, just days after being released from custody. Authorities later arrested a relative, Matthew Sandoval, on charges including first-degree murder and evidence tampering in her killing. Jackson has pleaded not guilty and is out of jail as he waits for his trial, which is set for 2026. The Farmington Police Department said they will continue to investigate the situation, to understand what happened, and to ensure the child remains safe. Mustafa Amir. Mustafa Amir was a 23-year-old BBA student from Karachi, Pakistan. He lived with his family in a wealthy neighborhood, and his parents always supported him in whatever he wanted to do. Mustafa loved cars and had a real passion for them. He owned a Toyota Mark X and enjoyed driving, modifying, and learning about cars. His friends and family often came to him for car-related advice. 2 years before his death, Mustafa met Armagan Qureshi at a car track. Armagan was older, rich, and had a reputation for being involved in shady activities. Despite the age difference, they became friends because of their shared love for cars. But Armagan's life was very different. He lived in a luxurious home with over 100 security guards, and his family was notorious in their area. Many suspected that Armagan and his family were involved in illegal businesses. Mustafa started spending time with Armagan and slowly got involved in Armagan's dangerous circle, which included drugs. By 2024, Mustafa had also become part of a drug-related case because of his association with Armagan. Mustafa's innocent passion for cars and friendship led him into a risky and criminal world without realizing the danger. On January 6, 2025, Mustafa left home to drive his car. He never returned. His mother tried calling him and asking friends, but nobody knew where he was. Mustafa's mother received an international call demanding a large ransom to return him. The family grew suspicious because the call came after Mustafa had been last seen with Armagan. Investigations traced Mustafa's last location to Armagan's house. On February 8, 2025, police raided Armagan's home. He resisted arrest, even shooting at officers, but was eventually captured. Inside his house, police found evidence of his illegal activities. A call center scamming international people, drug dealing, high-end computers for crypto mining, unlicensed cars, and weapons. Armagan's childhood friend Siraj Bukhari was also arrested and confessed to the crime, revealing the full story of Mustafa's murder. According to the confession on January 6th, Mustafa was lured to Armagan's house. Armagan and Siraj beat him severely and then tied him up. Mustafa was placed in the trunk of his own car. They drove to Hub in Balochistan, set the car on fire, and left him to die. Mustafa's body was unrecognizable, and local authorities initially buried it as an unidentified person. After the confession, Mustafa's family recovered his body, confirmed it with a DNA test, and finally laid him to rest properly. True motive remains unknown and contested, with no single explanation firmly established so far. Media narratives have shifted repeatedly, from ransom to a personal rivalry over a girl. Mustafa's mother then started a social media campaign, Justice for Mustafa, which brought national attention to the case. Murder of Elahe Hosseynejad. Elahe Hosseynejad was only 25 years old. She had simple dreams and a kind heart. She wanted a better life for herself and her family. Elahe worked as a beauty technician in Islamshar, a city near Tehran. Her friends said she was caring, hardworking, and strong. She believed in her future and worked every day to build it. On the evening of May 25, 2025, Elahe finished her work as usual. She packed her bag and told her coworkers she was going home. She always called her mother when she left work, but that night, the call never came. Later, her phone stopped working. Her family knew something was wrong. Elahe was careful and never disappeared without a word. By midnight, her mother was very worried. She began calling hospitals, police stations, and taxi drivers. She hoped someone had seen her daughter. Elahe's phone was off, and her social media stopped. It felt like she had vanished. The next morning, her family went into the streets to search for her. They put up posters around the city. The posters showed her photo and said she was missing. Many people helped look for her, but no one found any answers. Soon, something strange was discovered. Cameras along Elahe's usual way home were not working that night. Several cameras were off at the same time, during the hours when she disappeared. The police first said she may have run away, but her family strongly disagreed. Elahe had plans. She was saving money to open her own beauty shop. She loved her life and had no reason to leave. Days passed and hope slowly faded. On June 4, 2025, her body was found outside the city. She had been killed. There were signs that she tried to defend herself. Someone had tried to hide her body, but did not succeed. The news spread quickly across Iran. Many people shared her photo and asked for justice. Soon after, police said they arrested a 33-year-old man who knew her. Elahe's mother spoke in interviews. She said the case was called Solved, but she felt no peace. The last message Elahe sent said, "I'm coming home." Those words still hurt her family every day. Months later, the case is still unclear. Her family visits her grave every week. Jordan Gray. Jordan Gray, a 26-year-old new father, had only just started life as a dad 6 weeks earlier. On Sunday night, 14 December 2025, something terrible happened in his flat on Shields Court, Motherwell. Jordan would never see his son grow up. The next afternoon, his cousin Samuel went to check on him. When he arrived, the door looked broken. Samuel went inside and found Jordan lying on the couch, a blanket covering him. At first, Samuel thought Jordan was asleep. He tried to wake him, shaking him and calling his name. Then the blanket slipped off. Samuel saw a gunshot wound and blood everywhere. Jordan was gone. Samuel screamed and called for help. He couldn't leave his best friend like that. His mother called Jordan's mom, Lynn, who ran to the flat in tears. The family was shattered. Police arrived quickly. They confirmed Jordan had died from a gunshot. The major investigation team said this was not a random act. Someone had planned this attack. Officers worked through the day and evening, taking away a car that might hold clues and checking CCTV and Ring doorbell footage from nearby homes. But the weapon, a shotgun, was still missing. Detectives described a person seen near Shields Court around 10:35 p.m. on Sunday. The person wore a dark jacket with the hood up and dark trousers. Police hope anyone who saw this figure will come forward. Jordan's family shared their grief publicly. His mother, Lynn Gray, said they were devastated and needed privacy to grieve. His father, John Lindsay, said Jordan was a loving son and a caring father. He asked anyone with information, however small, to speak to the police. Jordan's ex, the mother of his baby boy, posted a message online. She said they had their ups and downs, but they had a beautiful child together. A team of specialist officers is working hard to find the person who did this and to recover the missing gun. A young father has been taken too soon, and the people who loved him are left trying to make sense of it all. This case is about Usman Haider, a deputy superintendent of police (DSP), which is a high-ranking police officer in Pakistan, and the murder of his wife and young daughter. At first, Usman Haider himself reported to the police that his wife and daughter were missing. He said they might have gone away after an argument or that they had been kidnapped. He also said they had taken important papers with them. Because he was a police officer, his report was taken seriously, and a kidnapping case was registered. As the police started their investigation, they looked at the case from all sides. They spoke to Usman Haider, his in-laws, and other close people. During these talks, it came out that Usman and his wife had problems in their marriage from the very start. They argued often, even over small things. His wife had left the house before and gone to live in Fazilabad, where she had a small house from her father. Each time, Usman later went and brought her back. Police also checked phone records. They looked at the call data of Usman, his wife, his daughter, and many other people linked to them. More than 1,000 phone records were checked. This made the police more suspicious of Usman and some people close to him. Slowly, signs started to point towards him. The police then checked Usman's house and his official police vehicle. When the vehicle was sent for forensic testing, blood was found inside the seats. There were also marks that showed a gun had been fired inside the vehicle. To confirm whose blood it was, police took a DNA sample from the mother of Usman's wife. The test confirmed that the blood matched Usman's wife and daughter. After this strong evidence, the police took Usman Haider into custody and questioned him. During questioning, it became clear that the crime had not happened at just one place. The police rebuilt the full story step by step. Usman took his wife and daughter out for dinner in a busy area. After that, while driving on the ring road, he shot both of them inside the car using a private pistol. Each of them was shot twice. After killing them, Usman dumped their bodies in different places. He threw his daughter's body into a drain near Kana and dumped his wife's body near Sheikhupura. Later, local police found these bodies in bad condition and buried them as unidentified bodies after legal steps. Even after the murders, Usman acted normal. He continued his police duties and even created a drama of searching for his wife and daughter. He visited his in-laws many times and pretended to be worried. The reason behind the murders appears to be family conflict. Usman's wife wanted her own house. She asked him to buy a plot so they could build a home. Usman had paid a large amount for a plot earlier, but later used that money for his siblings' needs. His wife was upset that he spent money on others but not on his own family. There were also reports that she and her daughter were against his plan for a second marriage. The sister of Usman's wife had complained earlier to the chief minister, saying Usman was abusive and had killed her sister. She also said police officers threatened her to stay silent. Police say they are in full contact with her and that she is now satisfied with the investigation. The case is still going on. Final forensic reports and post-mortem reports are awaited. Police say they will present a strong case in court and file a full charge sheet based on evidence. Oscar Solorzano. It was just another Friday night on Charlotte's light rail. Passengers were winding down from their day, some scrolling on their phones, others staring out the windows at the city lights. But the calm was shattered when 33-year-old Oscar Solorzano forced his way onto the train. Court documents later revealed he was intoxicated at the time. Witnesses say he shouted at one passenger, then challenged him to a fight before pulling out a knife. The chaos ended around 5 p.m. near North Brevard and 22nd Street, where police arrested Solorzano. He now faces multiple serious charges, attempted first-degree murder, assault with a deadly weapon, breaking and entering a motor vehicle, and more. The victim was rushed to the hospital and survived. The attack's timing heightened concern, coming just days after Arena's law went into effect. The law tightened bail rules for violent offenders, banned cashless bail for certain crimes, and urged people to stay alert and intervene if someone is in danger. Investigators found that Solorzano is a twice-deported illegal migrant with a lengthy criminal record, including aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, resisting arrest, and using a false ID. This incident is painfully familiar. It happened on the same light rail system where, just months earlier, Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutka was stabbed. Since that attack, federal authorities launched Operation Charlotte's Web, increasing ICE presence in the city. State lawmakers also introduced new security measures. Charlotte residents are left shaken and questioning how much more needs to be done to protect public spaces. Zulma Guzman Castro. A woman accused of killing 2 teenage girls in Colombia has been found alive in London after a dramatic rescue. Her name is Zulma Guzman Castro. She is a businesswoman who once appeared on Shark Tank Colombia. Police say she is the main suspect in a poison case that shocked the country. Early on the morning of December 16th, police in London were called to Battersea Bridge. It was just before 7 a.m. People had reported a woman in serious distress. Soon after, officers from the Marine Police pulled a woman from the River Thames. She was alive and was taken to a hospital. Doctors later said her injuries were not life-threatening. British police did not first name her, but Colombian officials later confirmed it was Zulma Guzman Castro. On April 3rd, a box of chocolate-covered raspberries was delivered to a home in Bogotá. The delivery man said it was a gift for the family, but no one knew who sent it. Inside the house were several teenagers. 2 of them later died. Their names were Inés de Bedut, age 14, and Emilia Ferrero, age 13. The girls became very sick after eating the fruit and died 4 days later. Tests showed the raspberries were poisoned with thallium. Thallium is a very dangerous metal. It has no smell and no taste and can kill slowly and painfully. Investigators say Zulma Guzman Castro meant to harm her former lover, Juan de Bedut. He is Inés's father. The relationship between Zulma and Juan had ended badly. Police believe the crime was an act of revenge. Zulma has denied being involved, but authorities say the evidence points to her. After the girls died, Zulma left Colombia on April 13th. She traveled to Argentina, then Brazil, and later Spain. The case caused deep pain for the families. One girl survived but was left with life-changing injuries. A 21-year-old brother of one of the victims was also hospitalized. Emilia's father later shared a message online. He wrote about his deep love for his daughter and the future they would never have. Zulma Guzman Castro is now under watch. Authorities in both countries are working together. Many questions remain, but families hope justice will finally come. On Thursday morning, April 17, 2025, at around 9:30 a.m., a woman called the emergency number and the police in Islamshar, near Tehran. She was screaming and crying. She told them that a young girl had just been attacked in front of a nail salon. According to her, an angry man had attacked a nail worker with a knife and stabbed her many times. The girl was in very bad condition. After the attack, the man moved a short distance away and stopped near the salon with his white car. Police arrived very quickly at the nail salon on 20 Mitri Street. When they reached the scene, they saw a lot of blood in the street gutter. A young girl was lying there, covered in blood. Her neck was badly cut and blood was still coming from deep wounds on her body. Near the salon, a man was sitting calmly on the sidewalk. His hands and clothes were covered in blood. He was smoking a cigarette like nothing had happened. Police arrested him right away. The owner of the salon confirmed that this man was the attacker. The girl was taken to the hospital by ambulance as fast as possible. During questioning, the man said he was Fatima Soltani's father. He told investigators that he did not want his daughter to work, especially in beauty salons. He said he found her work page on Instagram, sent her a message pretending to be a customer, and got the address of her workplace. That morning he went there to scare her and beat her, but he claimed he did not plan to kill her. Witnesses told a very different story. The salon manager said Fatime was hardworking and talented. She had her own clients and was doing well. She did not want her father to know where she worked, so she came at different times each day. Fatime wanted to be independent and earn money for herself and her mother so they could leave her father's house. On the morning of the attack, she told her co-workers that her father was waiting outside. She was shaking with fear. They tried to calm her and asked her to call her mother. Her mother tried to talk to the father and make him leave, but he did not. After some time, she agreed to go outside and talk to him. As soon as she opened the door, her father grabbed her and tried to force her into his car. She resisted. Then he started hitting her and pulled out a knife. For more than 30 seconds, he stabbed her again and again. Many people saw it, but they were too scared to stop him. In total, he stabbed her more than 20 times and then cut her throat. After the murder, the father stayed at the scene, calmly smoking until police arrived. Fatime was taken to the hospital with her brother Amir, but she died in the ambulance because of her serious injuries. Later, Amir explained that their father was addicted to drugs and was violent. He often beat Fatime and their mother. She was smart and hardworking. She had big dreams and wanted a better life, one where she could live without fear. But those dreams were stolen in broad daylight on a busy street by the one person who was supposed to protect her. Murder of Sana Yusuf. On the evening of June 2, 2025, at around 5:09 p.m., CCTV cameras in Sector G13 Islamabad recorded a man running away. Just minutes before this, a shocking crime had taken place. A 17-year-old girl named Sana Yusuf was shot inside her own home. The news spread quickly and reached international media. Sana was a well-known social media influencer in Pakistan. That evening she was at home and her mother had gone to a nearby market to buy some household items. Because the market was close, the main gate of the house was not locked. This small mistake became very dangerous. A young man had been hiding near the house for 3 to 4 hours, waiting for the right moment. Inside the house, Sana was not alone. Her aunt, Latifa Shah, was also there. When the man saw the gate open, he entered the house. He asked the aunt where Sana was. She pointed upstairs and said Sana was in her room. The man looked young, so the aunt thought he might be Sana's friend. The man went upstairs and called Sana outside her room. Soon they started arguing. While the aunt was coming upstairs with water, she heard Sana telling the man to calm down and drink water. Sana also said that there were CCTV cameras inside and outside the house. These were the last words Sana ever spoke. Seconds later, 2 gunshots were heard. The aunt rushed into the room and saw Sana lying on the floor, covered in blood. The man picked up Sana's phone. When he saw the aunt, he pointed the gun at her to scare her and then ran away. Sana had been shot twice in the chest. Neighbors came quickly after hearing the noise. Sana's mother also returned home and was shocked by what she saw. Sana was taken to the hospital, but it was too late. She had died. Sana was only 17 years old. She was famous on TikTok and Instagram with millions of followers. She made videos about skincare, food, music, and daily life. Her father was a government officer posted in Chitral. She also had a younger brother who was with their father at the time of the incident. About 1 year before her death, Sana received a message on Instagram from a man named Umar Hayat. He was 21 years old and spent his days pretending to be rich on social media. He rented cars, borrowed clothes, and made fake videos to impress people. His online life was full of lies. Umar contacted Sana by pretending to offer brand deals. Sana replied politely, as influencers often do. Over time, Umar wrongly believed that Sana would agree to meet him. When Sana clearly refused, Umar could not accept it. He kept calling and messaging her again and again. Sana always said no and even told her family about him. On the 29th May 2025, Sana's birthday, Umar traveled over 300 kilometers to reach her home with gifts. Sana was shocked to see him at her door. She refused to meet him and asked her family to send him away. This rejection hurt Umar's ego deeply. After this, Umar became angry and obsessed. He killed Sana and ran away with her phone to delete his messages. Police checked over 100 CCTV cameras and tracked him using phone data. He was arrested within 20 hours. The gun and Sana's phone were recovered. Police said the main reason was personal rejection. Sadly, some even tried to justify the murder.